You are listening to Grim and Stone, the Mountain Perspective. This podcast may contain objectionable language.
Welcome to Grim and Stone, the Mountain Perspective. This is our take on what's happening in the world. And Stoney's back!
Yay!
How you doing, Stoney?
I'm amused.
Oh,
Doing all right.
good deal. So, let's get right into this. 91-year-old sailor graduates boot camp.
It's about time.
Talk about a fucking holdover. Jesus. World War II veteran and Battle of Midway survivor Joe Sanis? Well, we'll call him Joe Sanis. And I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, sir. Wilmette, Illinois. Let's see. Became an honorary graduate of recruit training at the Naval Station Great Lakes. More than 70 years after enlisting in the Navy, June 14th. Sanis enlisted in the Navy November 14th, 1941. Attended boot camp at Great Lakes. My brother went there. However, after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, 4 weeks into boot camp, he was immediately assigned to the destroyer USS Hammond. It was a DD-412, and he never graduated. 4 weeks. Welcome to the Navy. You're going to war. Wow. But, so this man went and, during the ceremony, 9 divisions comprised of 701 sailors, or 702, including Sanis, graduated from recruit training. The Navy's only boot camp. Great Lakes is the only boot camp they have?
Guess so.
Well, I guess that explains why my brother went there. The ceremony was attended by more than 1,500 friends and family, including Libby Sanis, who were Sains, Joe's wife of 65 years. Joe said, "After 72 years, I am proud and happy to be part of this graduation. The sailors today are looking better than the sailors of my time. I was impressed with what I saw today. I'm sure the graduation back in 41 wouldn't have been anywhere near close to this." So, well, congratulations, Mr. Joe. Tired of screwing up his last name. But that's cool.
Yeah.
They included him. 4 weeks. Can you imagine? Now, 4 weeks when I was at basic, I was still kind of in shock. What did I do? Why am I here? Yeah, I can't imagine going to war 4 weeks in.
Well, at least he enlisted and then got sent off, as opposed to these guys that got drafted. They knew they were going to war.
That's a great segue.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it wasn't really a drafting that took place. But we're going to go right to our famous vet. Jimi Hendrix. Some people say he was the greatest guitar player ever. I contest this. He was a very sloppy guitarist. He was just innovative in how he played. When I die, I want people to play my music, go wild, and freak out, and do anything they want to do. Jimi Hendrix. And right here, the opening comment in this freaking article. He may have been one of the greatest guitarists in the history of rock and roll. False. Known for playing his signature left-handed Stratocaster with his teeth before setting it on fire. False. It was a right-handed Stratocaster that he played left-handed. Jesus, this guy is just a mess. The guy who wrote this. But the man who would become known the world over as Jimi Hendrix first cut his teeth as a soldier in the army and didn't exactly set the world on fire. Brought up in a broken home in Seattle, young James Marshall Hendrix, apostrophe S, stint, Hendrix's stint in the army wasn't necessarily voluntary. He was already honing his guitar skills in 1961 when a run-in with the law over a stolen car led to a choice. He could either spend 2 years in prison or join the army. Yep. He enlisted May 31st, 1961, and was assigned to the 101st Airborne Division, where he was stationed at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. As you'd expect, Private Hendrix's rebellious attitude didn't especially wow his commanding officers. Among his many faults, he slept while on duty, required constant supervision, and wasn't a particularly good marksman. According to reports, he was a habitual offender when it came to missing midnight bed checks, and was unable to carry on an intelligent conversation. That's in quotes. True to his calling, he continued playing his guitar while off duty, which didn't endear him with the other men in the barracks, who just wanted a good night's sleep. His constant noodling, led one of his commanding officers to comment, "This is one of his faults, because his mind apparently cannot function while performing duties and thinking about his guitar." Although Hendrix had signed up for 3 years, Captain Gilbert Bachman, Batchman? Bachman. Batchman? It's got a T in there. Had enough after 1 year. And made the case to Hendrix to be discharged, as his problems were judged not to be treatable by hospitalization or counseling. An alleged ankle injury during a parachute jump gave young Hendrix the opportunity to bow out of active duty with an honorable discharge, and he was happy to oblige. It can be said that at least he had the benefit of dental care while in service at Fort Campbell and California's Fort Ord, care that would come in useful later in his musical career. Yeah, playing the guitar with his teeth. Aren't we a witty writer? Ugh. Hendrix may not have been a great fit for the U.S. Army, but the military's loss was rock music's gain. As a few years after his discharge, he exploded onto the London music scene with his band, the Jimi Hendrix Experience, unleashing his first single, Hey Joe. The rest is history. Blah, 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 blah. So, in my mind, a shitty guitarist. Others will argue against me on that one. But obviously a shitty soldier. Join the army or go to jail.
That was pretty common back then.
Yeah. He put boots on. Not sure I can throw him a salute, though.
I'm sensing some bias here.
I was never really a fan of Jimi Hendrix. His music was sloppy. Guitar playing was very sloppy. Granted, on 3/4 of a bottle of Osbach, I can play one hell of a Jimi Hendrix Star Spangled Banana. But I got to be absolutely shit-faced.
Well, I got nothing.
All right. There's Jimmy. Your turn.
Wow. Okay. East County peer-to-peer band of brothers. A dream becomes reality. Blue Star mother Josie Monahan's dream of creating a Veterans Resource Center as well as an all-era veterans peer-to-peer group which meets and breaks bread with each other every Wednesday with commonality, camaraderie, and mutual sharing being the empowering agenda has become a reality in Antioch, California. Now, see, this is a story about a very successful veterans peer-to-peer group.
Yeah.
Why does it have to be in a foreign country?
I don't know.
Why can't we have those in the United States?
Well, we have one locally, but it's
successful.
Not successful.
Successful.
Oh, my
yes.
mistake.
And this is why I picked this story. Anyway, Josie Monahan, she's the mother of a Marine combat vet, and she created this group in 2010 as an alternative for returning vets and their families, with the ultimate goal of having a drop-in veterans recreation center where workshops and peer-to-peer events could take place at any time. Now, I'm not going to go through this whole story because it's just basically what I just read.
But just expanded upon.
Gets rehashed over and over.
Got it.
But the key to this...
Do I need to scroll?
No, the key to this story is this peer-to-peer group is set up around the principle of camaraderie.
As opposed to
treatment. It's a safe place for somebody that can go in. They can freely identify themselves as a veteran of whatever era, and they're welcomed, they're understood, and they're not given any pressure or bullshit.
And no 12-step lists.
Yeah, and when I did my time in the PTSD ward at the VA hospital, despite all of the doctors and psychs and shrinks and every frickin' thing else they did to us, what made that successful for most of the people in the ward, including myself, was the fact that we had downtime to hang with the other veterans, and we could talk openly about anything that we'd experienced during service or after service, and there was no judgment. There was no, well, I understand that, and maybe you should try doing this. And no, it was just, man, I went through this shit, and I can't get it out of my head, and people would look at you and nod and go, yeah, I know. And that was all that was needed.
Nice.
Just, the camaraderie. And that's what this gal has set up in the Republic of California. And I really wanted to share this story today in particular because of the experience that you and I just had. We were asked to attend this event because apparently the VA thinks we all need to stop seeing counselors and receiving medications and whatnot, and just participate in these peer-to-peer or vet-to-vet groups. So we were asked to go, at least show up once.
And we did.
And I cannot remember being that combat ready in my head for quite a long time now. When dude that was running it started twitching and cussing and shaking, I was checking escape routes. I was calculating how quickly he can move versus how fast I can get across the table to him.
I was just going to hit him with a chair.
And then
I wasn't worried about escaping. I was just going to beat him down with a chair.
when the other dude showed up, that was all cool, but he closed the door. And man, my anxiety went right through the fucking roof at that point, because now the door's closed. One more step I have to deal with.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the vet to vet group that we went to, we'll call the guy Don.
Sure.
And he's a nice guy. He means well. His heart's in the right place, but his head isn't.
No.
And this is supposed to be the alternative treatment, therapy, whatever word you want to use, for our counselor and medications. This guy's a tweaky son of a bitch.
Yeah. He's about a half a heartbeat from losing his mind and killing people in the parking lot.
Yeah. This is the guy that you're going to read about in the friggin' bell tower. And,
well, not only that, but it was totally structured. It wasn't a peer-to-peer situation. It was, we sat down, he gave us these pre-printed packets, and we had to read. He pulls out the first one, and it says 12 steps. I think I put my head on the table at that point.
yeah, and let loose a groan.
And, you know, oh, great. Another 12-step program. It was plastic.
It was. The whole thing was manufactured. The only time it got real was when the other guy showed up.
Mm-hmm.
We'll call him Joe. Joe shows up, Vietnam vet. He's been maintaining now for, 40 years or whatever. About 6 months ago, his significant other passes, and his world went to shit.
Yeah.
It was one more loss in a long string of losses, and it was just that one too many, and he broke. You know, we talked to him. That part was good. But all these structured... I mean, I understand that when you have meetings or whatever, there should be some type of format.
Sure.
And I have no problem with a format, an outline even. But, like you're saying, that 12-step thing that we all had to read.
Yes.
Was tedious and painful, and I disagreed with most of it.
No, it was just, you know, the only value there that I had was, like you said, talking to Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And what worked, talking to Joe, what made me relax just a little bit, was because when we started talking to Joe, there was that connection of understanding, the been there, done that. We didn't have to tell him our experiences or anything. We looked at him and says, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
And he felt better.
Yep.
There was no structure involved. It was just casual conversation about what are you dealing with. I understand. And he knew that we understood.
Yep.
And that's why I picked this article.
I like this story because I like the basis of how this is set up.
Yeah, it's a no pressure place for vets to get together, and if they want to talk about something, they're surrounded by true peers that they can talk to and not be judged. And as opposed to, you know, name, rank, serial number, dress right, dress, read these 12 steps, and, you know, declare yourself a Christian soldier. I'm sorry, Montana VA. We love you. You're doing wonders for us. But this system you're trying to push us into is a failure.
Yes.
You need to take a lesson from the Blue Star Mother, Josie Monahan. and what she's doing for these fellows in the country of California.
There you go.
I'm going to stop before I start getting really pissed off.
For weather, we're going to go to a place near and dear to our hearts. With the lovely smell of rotten cabbage in the air. Because of the paper mill. And the lovely smell of soured perfume and sweat from Broad Street. Fort Gordon, Georgia. It's 84 degrees. Feels like 88. Partly cloudy. Winds out of the northwest at 6 miles an hour with a humidity of 62%. Today, they're expecting a high of 86 degrees. Scattered thunderstorms. Chance of rain 40%. Winds out of the southwest at 6 miles an hour with a humidity of 69%. Tonight, a low of 69 degrees. Low of 69. Good Lord. Scattered thunderstorms. Chance of rain 40%. Winds out of the south at 5 miles an hour. And my favorite, humidity of 92%.
Yeah.
So.
Glad I'm not there.
Nope. Ugh. Well, that about does it for us today. So, yeah. Have a good week. And we'll see you on Thursday.
Keep your powder dry.